guys, next day I'm back. Tell you what, that cabinet paint, it really kind of dries real smooth. It's what's the finish on it? I forget which I bought. Satin. I bought a satin finish, so it's not gonna be real shiny. Right now it's really dull, but that's the first coat, and I just, like I said, I wanted to kind of seal up these bodywork areas. So what I'm gonna do now is start touching up the artwork. I think what I'm gonna start with is the black. Maybe use the black marker and start filling in the areas that are missing, because I think the black will be the easiest to start with, and if I get a little paint on it, it should come right off. But I'm not positive. Okay, I got a lot of the black touched up. This black I'm not sure about yet. It's gray, but it dries blacker, but it might not dry as black as the acrylic paint marker that I'm using. So if that's the case, I'm gonna let it dry for a while now. But if that's the case, I forgot I bought this. I got a tube of the black acrylic paint. So we might just have to go over that black with that black to match the marker, which is not a big deal. But if you look here, you can see the difference like in his ear and stuff. I did a beforehand, and this is what it looks like now. A bunch of his ear was missing and stuff like that. I gotta get this drip out of here. Maybe I'll try to do that right now. And then let this dry for a while and see what it looks like. Okay, I'm gonna try a little bit of paint thinner. Actually, it's reducer for automotive paint. Gotta be careful. I don't want to really screw things up. But I have another issue is, see all these little black dots? Well, they're missing here. that got rubbed away a little bit. I need to see if I can touch that up as well. That one might be a little bit difficult, I'm not sure yet. So I got a rag here with a little bit of reducer on it. I'm gonna see if I can use my finger and maybe wipe away this part right here. Definitely loosening it up. I mean, I can touch the white up, I'm not worried about that. And all this stuff is just very time consuming. So I don't care that I turned it gray in that area as much as having that big thick drip there, because if it's thin and smooth, I can fix that with the paint. The problem is right here where it goes through here. Okay, I think I'm gonna kind of leave that like that. It's not perfect, but let me grab the white paint marker and see what I can do with that. Yeah, let me see what I can do with the white paint marker. Now, you know, you can't expect this to be perfect, but you can get it pretty damn good. Come on out, paint. Now keep in mind, because I am touching up this white, it's going to make the rest of the white look like crap. So now I have to kind of do the white everywhere. It's a slippery slope, you know what I mean? You gotta, once you start one thing, you gotta keep going. Obviously this needs another coat of paint. That's not supposed to be there. It's got to get covered up. So what I did with the reducer is I just thinned it down. I didn't necessarily get rid of it all, as you can see, but I made it easier for me to cover. And I'll tell you what, this white paint is actually going over the black really nicely. Almost makes me wonder if I could put some dots in here with that other side of this pen. I bet you I probably could. And more than likely, you have to do a couple coats on everything. Try not to do too much at a time, because you're going to drag your finger on the paint that's wet. to touch the black up afterwards. I'm not worried about that. So as you can see, we got rid of a lot of that drip already. It'll need a second coat of white once this dries. You can blend the white into the old white too, if you need to. So it's making me wonder if I should just paint this whole area black right here and then come back with the marker and put dots in it. Actually, no, that would be opposite. Well, no, that's weird. So over here, this is black background with white dots. Over here, it's a white background with black dots. So yeah, this side would be white dots. And the other side of this, that's kind of a blunt tip. I guess I'd have to just very carefully dot it like this. Wow, that would definitely not be easy. But I gotta do something with it to make it look a little better than that, because it does look kind of crappy right there. So his shoulder's looking better. We got rid of most of that run looking thing. Obviously it's a little whiter looking than the rest of him. We'll have to blend that in, or maybe we just, yeah, because I don't think I want him to be bright white. You see how his shoulder looks whiter than his arm? So I think what I'll do is maybe maybe I'll get a tube of white acrylic. I don't know if I bought one or not. I might have bought one. But maybe I'll get a tube of white acrylic if I don't have any. Yes, and maybe I'll take some of this pale yellow and we'll mix it together and get like a really, really light beige coat for the next coat. And I think that'll fix that up a little bit. It's not too noticeable, but it is a little bit noticeable. So that's where we're at so far. Like I said, I'm not sure about that black yet. I gotta wait and see how it dries. Now, you know, when I paint the front here and the back, if it's a hair to the gray side, you're not gonna notice it because you're not butting against anything. Actually, probably gonna have to just paintbrush this in right here because none of it's a big area. So let me just do that real quick while I have the black paint out. I'm not going to worry about the back just yet because we'll get a roller going on that. But let's at least get a coat of black on the front here. Okay, that's the first coat on the black. Now, what I've learned when brushing black paint or this cabinet paint on wood, take your brush strokes, go the same direction as your wood grain, okay? What that does is stops you from seeing wood brush strokes because your brush strokes are just simulating the wood grain, so it matches. And also, put it on thin. Don't try to glob it on. If you look over in here, you could see the Bondo still after the first coat of black. And I'm fine with that. See? Still see through that. That is fine. Don't try to glob it on there so thick and try to cover it in the first coat. Chances are this is going to probably take 3 coats to cover this. And this is where all the time this is why it takes so much time to do this stuff, is it's just multiple coats. You know, same thing when you spray paint. automotive paint. It takes 2, 3, 4 coats to cover, but that stuff dries really fast, you know. But this type of cabinet, you really couldn't do much with automotive paint with it. I guess I could tape off and spray the white and the yellow and the orange and then do all the touch-ups to the artwork by hand. But you know what? I wanted to show you that everything can be done physically by hand. So I'm gonna let this dry for a couple hours, go work in the basement for a little bit, and then come back out here, see how that black looks. Chances are we're probably gonna switch to the acrylic black on the sides only, just to get a little darker. To me, that looks too gray, probably not in the camera, but up close. But see how that looks gray? See where I touched up with the black marker versus this paint. Now, I don't think that this paint is gonna dry black as I think it's going to, which is fine. But like I said, on the front and back, once there's multiple coats, you'll never know that it's not black paint. This is called dark kettle black. So I think being called dark kettle black, a kettle does have a little bit of a grayish tint to it. So I didn't realize when I pulled this out that I didn't realize I bought black acrylic paint that I could brush. I didn't think I got a bottle of it, but I did. But it's not gonna hurt anything. We can go over it with the acrylic paint. We just need to let it dry for a little while. I'm gonna put a second coat on that side like I did over here off camera, just to give it the same amount of base. And I think one coat of acrylic black over top of this is gonna turn it nice and black, and it's gonna look really good. I do need to do these dots here, and I'm almost wondering if I should just use this paint. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I'll probably just use the acrylic. But I need to get that worn area fixed a little bit better. It's not too bad, actually. I wonder if I should just do 2 coats like that. That actually looks pretty good, because this stuff's kind of transparent. You can always add the white dots. Leave that like that and let it dry and see what it looks like. Now keep in mind, guys, I'm no artist, you know what I mean? But I have the will to try and to try to make something look better. And that's 9 times out of 10 what you need to succeed with this kind of stuff. So, all right, I'm gonna go put one more coat on the other side, clean my brush out, go do a few other things, let this dry. That's the best thing you can do, is just let it dry. All right, I'll see you guys later. Okay, it's probably been about 4 hours. I ran up to Walmart, been working on the basement. They had 4 more of this Harvest Orange, so I have a total of 5, which I don't know that that's enough. Oh shoot, one of them I got the wrong color. So I have 4, but that's all they had. So I bought a thing of this pumpkin orange, a big one, so I figure I could get the color close with this. And I'm only talking the big areas of orange that I need to do. His shirt and stuff we'll just use out of this. But the big areas I'll hit with this first and get it completely coated with this color, and then I can go over it with this. If I run out, I'll have to go to another Walmart and find more. I did get a thing of white, and I found this antique white, which might work perfectly for his arm area. So now I want to put another coat of black on the black areas. I'm gonna go grab my my glass plate so I can put some onto it. I like using this plate because I just rinse it off after, and then I can just keep using it. All right, we'll do this and then we'll start with some of the other areas. Okay, I ended up doing this black on the front because I like how black this is, and going over that other black paint I used covered really, really well. So I'll probably do the same thing on the back of the cabinet and the top. I'll just use that other black first and then go over it with this. Works good, looks really good. I kind of brushed in here where those white dots need to be, and I'm gonna see if I can't reproduce those white dots with the marker itself. So basically, I got a little paint here, and I'm gonna go back in there with some antique white and fix that. So I think I'm gonna rinse this plate off, let this side dry for a little bit, and work on the orange stripes on the front of the cabinet down here, putting that wrong color orange on first, and then we'll go back over it with the right orange afterwards. So let me get this cleaned up, and we're gonna work on that orange down there. Okay, I'm gonna get some orange paint out now. I'm almost tempted. I'm so impressed with how well this acrylic paint is covering versus this cabinet paint that I bought, that I'm almost wondering if I should buy some more of the antique white and then just blend it in here, rather than using that white. Yeah, I'm gonna have extra paint, but it is what it is. But what I'm getting at though is I think I might end up better, and it might look better because it's not going to be a pure white, because I don't know that this was ever a pure white. I think it always had an antique look to it. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to end up going that route, but that's okay. I mean, we use the white a little bit to cover up the Bondo areas on the first coat, so it's not going to hurt anything whatsoever. We're just going to have some extra paint, but it'll get used in the future. So let me get some of that wrong color orange on the plate here, and then we're going to use some masking tape to get some nice crisp lines on there. Hopefully a bunch of paint doesn't bleed through. That's the first coat. I'm probably gonna do a second coat of the same wrong color, and then the third coat I'll probably roll it on with the roller, the right color, and that'll kind of blend everything in. So this is, as you can see, it's gonna take a while because I have to now wait for that to dry so I can put a second coat on. I can't untape it to work on the yellow yet, and I might even get yellow craft paint. I'm not sure yet. We'll just see how it works out. So I guess I could start touching up this stuff. And I don't really think I need to do much taping down here, other than maybe I'll just take this, maybe I'll get the right color for this stuff. Yeah, I might be better off using the right color right here. So, I'm gonna wipe this off. Let me get some of the right color orange. I'm gonna put this back in the bottle. Actually, maybe I'll brush it over this. This is all yellow except for the last 1/4 inch, which is white, and we'll just put the white on after. So we'll use some of this up on the cabinet where it's white to start giving it an orangish appearance, I guess you'd say. Might as well get the first coat of orange on both sides. Got a thick paint line on the edge here. I can tell that this is going to turn out really well. It's just going to take me a little bit of time. I'm not going to have it all done today for sure. It's going to look worse before it looks better, I'll tell you that much. I didn't clean my brush really well. A little bit of black paint's coming out. It's all right, it's not going to hurt anything. And we'll do that that little 1/4 inch line around the bottom and side afterwards in the white. I'm gonna go do the other side. Okay, both sides have the first coat of orange on, and those 4 tubes I have are gonna be enough. The more I use this stuff, it goes extremely far. I'm probably gonna have way extra, but they're literally like 58 cents a tube, so it's not a big deal. I don't even think I'm gonna put a second coat of the wrong color on because I know I'm gonna have enough, because I used a tiny bit to do a coat that much. And I know the second coat of yellow is gonna, or orange is gonna cover better. So let me put a little bit of orange on the plate now, and we're gonna start touching up the other areas of the orange that, you know, just need minor touching up. So if anybody has one of these cabinets, they want to do some touch-up work, this is the orange I'm using. It's Harvest Orange. The part number is 20589E as in Edward. This is apple barrel matte finish. Walmart sells it. It's 58 cents a tube. And that's it for the orange. And I'll let you know the other colors as I go. But you can see the difference between the wrong orange and the right orange here. Whatever. So you can see the difference in the two colors here. This is more like a pumpkin orange, and this is more like maybe a little bit of a reddish orange, I guess I'd say. So let's put a little bit of this on the plate. Start touching up other areas, and hopefully that front will dry pretty quick, and we can put a coat of this on the front. I almost wonder, I'm gonna put this little fan I have on the front here, because then maybe we can get another coat on it. As you can see, I'm kind of blending the color, basically just kind of brushing it, light coats, and just kind of fading it out into the orange, into the rest of the orange. I think I just said yellow. I don't know what I'm talking about. But anyways, you get the idea. I'm just taking a little bit at a time on the brush and just fading it out. Okay, coat number 2 is on. It's been about 10 minutes or so. The fan is really drying this stuff extremely fast, which is awesome. That's definitely going to speed up my process. So I'm going to do the 3rd coat now with the roller. I went to Walmart to get this paint earlier, and I forgot to pick up a roller pan for these little mini rollers. So I guess I'll just use the plate. So I'm going to get some on the plate, and I'm going to roll a coat on, and we'll see how the 3rd coat looks. Let me show you kind of up close here. You can see first coat and 2nd coat here starting to blend in a little bit. Looks like crap still, but it'll work out. Same thing here, you can still see through it, but we're getting there. Okay, that's the first coat rolled on. Probably only gonna take about 10 minutes, we're gonna do another coat. Now the only thing I'm a little worried about is when I go back to this orange and tape it off and put that white line, I'm just hope my tape doesn't peel the orange paint off. And that, I don't know. Guess we're gonna find out and see what happens. But as you can see how well that first coat of orange rolled on, I mean, we're getting close already. So basically I'm gonna do probably 1 or 2 more coats of orange, and then I'm going to go ahead, let this dry for a couple more hours, go back in the basement, work down there for a little bit. Then I'm going to come back out here, and we're going to work on using the antique white in here, fixing his shoulder up, getting all this done, putting some white dots in here and see if we can't improve that look. For the most part, his body itself, very, very few minor little nicks. And I'll get that out. Up here, we'll start, going around the balloons and stuff like that. So it's actually going fairly quick. I'm pretty pleased with it. I'm just excited that the fact that the image of him and the balloons were in such good shape. I'm not worried about the rest of it. That's easy to fix. Just him himself ended up being in good shape. So that just makes it a lot easier. Okay, I think I'm going to do 1 more coat with the roller, and I think we're going to be pretty good on the orange, guys. It's starting to really come together. I have to get my brush out and hit some of those spots again. I'm 2 tubes into the orange paint that matches, so I still have 2 more tubes of paint. So I think I'm going to be more than fine. I'm probably going to maybe go through 1 more tube. So that's awesome. Plus, once I get done with everything, I might find a couple little spots here and there on the orange that I want to touch up. I'll have plenty left to do that if I need to. So I'm going to give it another 15-20 minutes of drying with the fan, get the last coat of orange on, and then at that point, I'm going to let it set for a few hours. Then we'll come back and we'll start on probably the white areas in the center of the cabinet first. Okay, I just rolled another coat on. It's just about to where I am happy with it. It's still a little wet, so it's a little blotchy looking, but I might do 1 more light coat. I'm 3 bottles into the orange. I have 1 bottle left, but now's the time to get 1 more coat on. This side's a little bit wetter still, but it's drying. So I might do 1 more coat here in about 15 minutes. I want to take the marker, the white marker, and see if I can't put dots back by his head over there. Now, if it doesn't look good, I'll just fill it back in with black paint. See how I kind of filled that in below his head right here? So let me show you the other side so you can see. But this originally had a bunch of black dots, or little white dots right here to kind of form this going that way. So let's look at the other side, and you'll be able to see it. See how it comes up and around his ear. So I have this side to go off of. see, I don't know if I can do that or not, but I can give it a try. It's worth a shot. If not, I just leave it, just do it black again, and it is what it is. But it looks like those white dots are pretty close together, which might be kind of hard. And they are tiny dots. Kind of see where they were originally. So I'm just trying to kind of follow that. Doesn't look too bad. How's that look? It's not perfect. Maybe once it dries it'll look a little bit better, but I think it's horrible. Maybe I'll go over that area a little bit more. Okay, so while I'm waiting for that orange to dry, I got a phone call. So I was kind of painting a little bit while I was on the phone. And you can see his shoulder, I used the off-white, but it's a little too off-white. So what I did was I took my cap of paint and I put some white and off-white and mixed them together. So now hopefully this will be a little bit better shade. It doesn't look too off-white on the camera, but when you're up close, you can definitely see the difference. So this is definitely looking better. This is actually a really good match now. Now, I got a little bit of off-white paint over the black. I'm not worried about it. I will go back over with the paint marker and hit those spots, and that'll straighten them right out. Yes, this color is way better. Now, I can only do so much right now until this coat dries. But yeah, don't worry if you get a little bit on the black, because you can fix that. Then when you blend it, try to really go out far with the brush. That helps blend the old and the new better. So don't put a lot of paint on, just thin light coats is all you need. Like I'll put a coat right here for now, just kind of get that started. I got a little bit right there on the black, no big deal. That paint marker works really, really well. I'm going to end up probably brushing all the white because it's just going to be easier to get around everything. Yeah, that's a really good match there. All right, I'm going to put one more coat of yellow on, or one more coat of orange on real quick, and then I'll come back and we'll take a look at it. And then I'm going to wait a little while, and then we're going to touch up the white all around the balloons and everything tonight. And then probably call it a night, let the orange dry overnight, because I got to put that white stripe on the back and on the bottom. Next, we'll probably do the yellow, and then we'll do the outside white last. Okay, I'm pretty damn happy with that. Might be a couple little spots, like I said earlier. This is still a little wet, but if I got to go back over it a little bit, once I get everything complete, not a big deal. Let me pull the tape here and see how bad that paint bled behind it. I have a feeling it probably did. Actually, not bad at all. Actually looks good. My only concern, my real concern is taping this and putting the yellow on. I really think I might have a problem doing that. Yep, see how this is peeling off right there? That I gotta fix now. That's what I'm worried about, is how the hell am I gonna do that? Unless I just take my time and I just do a nice straight line with my paintbrush, which is probably what I'm gonna have to do. That sucks, so I gotta touch this up now. So what I'm gonna have to do is cut this off right here. It's not cured all the way, and I'm afraid to let the tape sit on here for too long. Kind of gotta peel away from it if you can. So I'm gonna kind of peel upwards at the bottom, like that. That's better. I don't know why that bottom did that. Just didn't adhere really well, I guess. Because this one's perfect. It's pretty wet. Not the end of the world. We'll get it fixed. So it's not horrible. Probably start brushing a little. Maybe I'll let it sit a little bit and I'll brush a little orange on it. So not horrible. It'll fix up. So all right, I'm gonna let this dry for a little bit, and then I want to do a little bit of the white, and then I'm going to end this video. It's going to probably be a pretty long video. I'm going to edit quite a bit of it to try to take it down to maybe an hour, hour and a half long video. But I want to start getting this dirty white cleaned up, and then tomorrow we'll knock out the yellow hopefully, and then it's just white after that. So all right, I'll be back in a while. All right guys, I'm back out here again, getting tired for the day. I've been working in the basement and on this all day long. I've got the basement about 85% to where I want it, so probably another night or two and it'll be all cleaned up, and gym will be all cleaned out and everything. So I'm gonna spend the next, I don't know, maybe 20 minutes or so. I'm just gonna start touching up the off-white color. I'm not gonna go crazy with it because, at least not tonight. I'm just, a couple nights we'll have this thing back together. So let me go get my plate real quick. Okay, I'm gonna take my white and off-white, mix them together a little bit on the plate here, and then we can start touching up some of this off-white area a little bit better. I have 11 19-inch monitors in my basement, and I looked through them and I found a 19-inch. I don't know anything about it yet. I have not messed with it. It is from a Williams game because it has a Williams sticker on it. So I'm going to rebuild that one and use that one in the Stargate cabinet. Now Stargate has a little screen burn on it, but I'm not too worried about it. And I found another monitor that has zero burn in on it, and I think I gotta look at the chassis. I think it might be a 4900, but I'm not sure. But there's zero burn on the screen. Once again, I know nothing about the monitor. I'll have to power them on, see if they do anything, see what's wrong with them. They might need completely rebuilt. I'm not sure yet. But so the monitor with zero burn, I'm going to put it on this game, and then I'm going to take that other one and use it on Stargate. At least those two games will be handled. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to go around and start touching up. Let's see how my color matches. Yep, that's just about on. Just basically just a bunch of white and a little bit of the off-white gives you the perfect color for this. All right, guys, I'm going to call it a night tonight. I got a lot done on it today. It is getting there. Another day, 2 days, probably 2 days. It's going to be ready for the clear coat, and this thing is going to look really good. Probably going to have to do one more coat of white on this side and probably two on the other. I did not cut in around the balloons and stuff on the other side yet. there's more coats to put on. I just hit the heavier areas over there that didn't look good. But if you look here, you can see how nice this is looking. Now, if you look here, you can still see through it a little bit, and that's why I need another coat. But I mean, look at how good this is starting to turn out here. We obviously got to do the yellow still. We got a little orange touch up there still. But look at the orange color. We got yellow touch up down there. Probably just go over all the yellow, except for maybe around his outfit. I'm not sure yet. Do you remember? I don't know, because I probably high speed through that part, but his ear was all screwed up. Now it's fixed. But this is where we're at so far, guys. And that little spot that peeled down there, no big deal. We'll fix it up. Don't let stuff like that stress you out, because it's just going to make, it's not worth it. Just let it go, fix it, move on. That's all you can do. So all this has got to get painted yellow. In here is going to be kind of a pain because there's some old gray paint that's stuck in there. But we'll get it. Probably do another coat of black in here before the clear. And then we need to do the back and the top of the cabinet, but I'm gonna do that last. So I'm gonna eat dinner, edit this video, unload the game that I picked up yesterday, and tell you what I think my plans are to do with the cabinet. What the game is I already have the game, okay? It's not a hugely popular game by any means. A lot of people don't like the game. I already have one in the basement. So, I might do a conversion, and the conversion will be the exact same style cabinet that that other game came in. So it's not like I'm putting it in a different cabinet. It would be in the exact style cabinet that the conversion, you know, that it would have came in. Now, they did make a dedicated cabinet for it, but I don't think they made a lot of them. I'm not sure. I'd have to look it up. But it's just an idea. I'm bouncing around because I paid $100 for this cabinet. It has a monitor in it. I don't know if it works or not. It has burn-in from that game in that, from that cabinet, that game in that cabinet. I don't know if it works or not, but I can rebuild the monitor. I think the power supply, or the power supply and stuff might be at the bottom of the cabinet, to be honest with you. I didn't open it up when I was there. The coin door's in it, some of the wiring's in it. For $100 anymore, I mean, how can you really go wrong? Just the 19-inch monitor is worth probably $50, $75. But I don't really want to, I don't want to scrap the cabinet because I'm not that guy who fucks cabinets up. I don't want a 60-in-1 cabinet because that's lame. So I think my best bet is if I put the cabinet back to what it was and sold it, I wouldn't make enough money. I would probably lose money. So I don't want to do that. So I think my best option is to do what I'm thinking in my head and do a conversion. It'll look identical to the original cabinet. You would never know other than you saw me do it. So thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. It's probably gonna be a long video. I'm gonna edit it down as much as possible. And we are getting there. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys think this is something that you guys can do after watching some of these videos, because I'd really like to know if you guys, you know, would be willing to attempt this after watching, you know, there's other people out there that do this too. It seems to be more popular on pinball than it does on arcade cabinets, but as you can tell, I always try to save this type of artwork. I saved the artwork on Sinistar. I saved the artwork on Bubbles. What else did I save the artwork on? Solar Fox and Satan's Hollow. So those 4 cabinets I've saved the artwork on. This will be the 5th cabinet here. I don't mind. I think it's going to turn out badass, and I think nobody would ever even know that this was repainted. Plus, you know, I hear people say here and there, I'm putting all this work into the side of the cabinet, I'm just going to shove it in between 2 other cabinets and you're never going to see it. It's not the point. The point is you're fixing the cabinet up, you're bringing it back to life to where it once was, and you're preserving it, because this cabinet, for instance, is in really good shape. Very few minor cracking in the plywood, okay? But as these cabinets age, if you don't address those cracks in that plywood, it's going to get worse. It's going to keep cracking on you. Moisture is going to get into the plywood layers and it's going to keep separating. So, in my opinion, leaving the original artwork, touching it up like I am, and re-clear coating it, I don't think it's hurting the cabinet at all, because it's still the original artwork. It's not like I stuck vinyl on there or I did a decal, sprayed decal. Now, when I get to burger time, when I do that cabinet, I'm going to have to spray the decal on there because the cabinet is screwed up. There is a lot of... So on burger time, the cabinet has a ton of plywood splitting. I think they call it planking, but it has it all over the place. There's no way in this world I could fix that artwork and make it look decent and save the cabinet. So what I'm going to have to do is DA the whole cabinet down to bare plywood. Probably going to have to take Bondo and fiberglass resin and do a light skim coat over the whole cabinet, and then filler prime it, sand it, and stuff like that to get it to look as good as I can. I like personally seeing the wood grain in the cabinet because you know it's original. Burger Time's not going to have wood grain when I'm done with it, but still saving the cabinet. But you can only do so much with what you have. So this is going to have the original wood grain in it, and that's awesome to me. All my other ones that I restored like this also have that. So, all right, I got to go, guys. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it, and hopefully you guys will like, share, subscribe. The more you share, the more views I get. You know, it just motivates me more to do more. So if you know anybody out there that's interested in seeing something like this, please share the video for me. I really appreciate it. Other than that, guys, I'll see you later. Thanks.